Hello and welcome to MySQL Developer course. My name is Javed. I'm a full stack developer and I will be your instructor for this course. And I welcome you to this journey, and let's get started with databases, right? Okay. Now, actually you're thinking, what is database, right? In short, a short definition is a collection of organized data, right? Like how, for example, if your physical phone book, like it contains the name, customer name, phone number, address. This is also kind of a sort of database, right? So there are a lot of, if you just Google, there are a lot of definitions about database. So in short, a collection of organized data, right? Or a collection of data is called a database. And then we have, for example, this is a kind of very basic a table. Basically it contains some columns and some rows. So this is actually not a database, right? This is actually a table. So if we just contain, for example, if we have 4 or 5 or 10 tables, so that the combination of all tables make some kind of database, right? And what is actually database management system, DB or DBMS? A database management system, basically it's a software. Yes, it's kind of software that manages our databases. For example, we are learning MySQL, Oracle, and basically these all are the examples of DBMS. So a DBMS could be a software which manages our databases, right? And what next? Now, what is MySQL that we are learning? MySQL is the slogan of MySQL. If you just open MySQL database, this is for example, there's written the world's most popular open source database, right? And even MySQL is one of the biggest database that around the world. The YouTube, Facebook, eBay and Twitter, a lot of biggest services using MySQL as their database software. And it's a relational database management system software, and it's a product. Basically, in our next slide, if you just have a look, the differences between SQL basically and MySQL. In short, you can say SQL to SQL, right? So SQL vs MySQL. Actually, what SQL stands for? SQL stands for structured query language, right? And what about MySQL? MySQL is kind of DBMS software that follows SQL. For example, a structured query language. Every database software like MS Server or Oracle or MySQL, MongoDB, they basically work on the basis of SQL, structured query language. They all follow the standard query language, right? So you can say a MySQL is kind of a product, right, for managing databases. It's a DBMS software. So this is a very kind of a basic example of introduction to databases, DBMS, database management system, MySQL, SQL vs MySQL, things like that, right? So in the next video we'll be discussing how we can install our tools, basically how it looks, what is database, how it looks, and the tools for database management system. Okay, so in the next video we'll be looking on that.